If you guys can all rise, we're gonna do the national anthem.
Oh God, we praise and glorify for your grace and our Sudan. Land of great abundance, our hearts united in peace and harmony. Oh motherland, we rise, raising back with the guiding star, and sing songs of freedom with joy. For justice, liberty, and prosperity shall forever reign. All great patriots, let us stand up in silence and respect, saluting our mothers whose blood cemented our national foundation. We vow to protect our nation. All that is
This is Comrade Gatluak, member of the SPLMIA Youth League. We have Comrade Gatluak Tut Wie, member of the SPLMIA Youth League. Comrade Francis, for finance, for SPLA. Mr. Comrade Nyajuok Tut is with us here. And, Mr. Comrade and this is Comrade Nyajuok, the information for SPLMIA Youth League. You guys have probably heard her a lot. She works night and day, writes everything possible. Comrade Kawang with us here. He's a mobilizer. He's been the one that is running back and forth between Lincoln and Omaha and then mobilizing officer. Mr. Bogdan as well. This is the chairman of the Nebraska State Chapter. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are your leaders of tomorrow, and they've worked very night and day to make this possible. We've only started this office as of July of this month, and they made this possible. I really do thank you very much, and by all means, I do appreciate your work, guys, and thank you very much for
By raising her children, if you have a strong female that can, go to school and do things like that, she will raise a country, essentially, not just her kids, but her kids will be something for the country. And sometimes it's hard for females to get involved, knowing that it's all males. So I just, my words of encouragement is just let's be positive and let's encourage one another.
I think I would like to touch on it. She already touched them. These conflicts affect all of us in many ways. Some stand up for peace since day one. Some stand up for let's fight. Some just want to keep it to themselves. When this office was open, I see myself, I'm not a politician, I'm more than humanitarians, but my friends, Michael Riek is a chairman in the state of Tennessee, introduced me to politics. To all the guys that I hang out with, when we talk politics, we just negative side of politics, because we're more like ordinary guys. When we hang out, we talk about how can we make things different, but how can we move South Sudan from where we are to next level? When I like to touch about what I like to touch about South Sudan conflict is this. We all go to school, hang out with different friends, and like she said, she went to conference, and the biggest conference I went to before even South Sudan conflict started. I'm a farmer, and they asked me how South Sudan food process, how they get their foods. I told we farmer, they laugh. Yeah, you can laugh. and they ask me the process of how they farm. When I break it down to Americans, they laugh too. But when I show them the data of what we have in South Sudan, they want to pay attention. They don't want to talk about the process of how we grow our own foods, but they want to see what we have as a land. And everybody's quiet. All of them was quiet. The professor, the business individual, they quiet. They want to read it, but when I tell them, they don't want to believe it. So when we talk back about this problem we're having right now, what can we do to move from where we are right now to where we try to go? Yes, we need all of us, our girls, our women, they need to come too. And us as the men, with all the culture we have, it's all what can we provide our people. Some chose to fight. Some people like Dr. Riek wanted a speech piece. To some community, it didn't go well within ourselves. But it changed me when he came here and started talking about how did he want South Sudan to be, and how he want us, the social media warriors, how can we be headed, and how can we do our parts. And it touched me in a kind of way as saying that you don't have enemies. You have to study your enemies instead of generalize your enemies, because you will get defeat if you generalize all your enemies. And when I talk to my friend, when we go home, we discussed it, we end up on the same page. Like, we change our mind that South Sudan is bigger than Nuer, Dinka, politics, or any other issues. We're the victims when it comes to that, but we still love our fellow Southern Sudanese as ours too. So we stand here today as a young politician trying to get deep in politics. We look ourselves, we talk ourselves, what can we do to help South Sudan? Some of us want to go to school, half over here, half want to do it in South Sudan. I guarantee all of us in here have their own project where a little bit of it go to American ways and the majority will go to South Sudan. And I would like to thank our chairman, Mr. Dobuol Ruon. That's not easy dealing with the Southern Sudanese politicians, especially when they try to get into politics. I know myself. I'm trying to get in. He already been in, try to pull me to be where he at. Sometimes we clash, you know? The way I see things and the way he see things, that's different. Same thing, way I see things and Dr. Machar see things. You know, I would rather listen to one of my white army members before I can take advice from Mathew Dobuol or Dr. Machar. Because we related, we see things the same way we wanted to see. But as a politician, they see it different. They want to take a long route. We want to just straight. And I learned that. My friend Michael, when people ask me, oh, he's the chairman, I like him. I take him because he's my homeboy. But when he give me political advice, I'm like, man, you know? Let's talk about other things that we used to do. But he advanced. He became a politician. And when I talk to him, even the way he dressed himself or the way he explained things to me is different. But I know he has a little politician in him since day one. But he's Michael. I know him since we were kids. I'm not going to take him as a politician. Same as Mathew Dobuol, you know? Sometimes I'll come to conference and start speaking Nuer, you know? And we all Southern Sudanese. That's because their mentality, you know? Like, oh, Mathew Dobuol is a politician. Oh, he's Nuer, we're going to catch it later, you know? What we got over here. But it's not that. We moving forward to make this great nation where it was, we had to change our mentality too. You know? We all have friends from different communities. For the sake of South Sudan, we need them. Okay? But when we address our issues politically, that's a different way than the way we address them when we deal with our social friends. You know? As a social media warriors, as they call us, we need to change our way too. You know? I told my friend since day one, if I like Dr. Machar, I'm going to promote the good side of it. I'm not going to put the negative about thing or say we as a Nuer, that or that. I want this guy to be a leader. He had to sell it to me, and I'm going to sell it to my friend, who are not know. That's how politics is. We did a lot of good things within our community, but if you did it through other community and they say, oh, this guy is good, those are the people we need in South Sudan. Okay? I'm not a politician, like I said, but I'm just trying to get in. And my view with seeing things, how I look at Southern Sudanese is different now than when I deal with my already friends, politicians. My advice to all of us here, anybody's a politician. That's how you approach others. You know, if I ask my friend for money, I'm gonna use political way. I'm not gonna tell him what I'm gonna do with his money. You know, I'm gonna be nice, okay? But if I just ask my friend Mike right now and say, hey man, give me money, he's gonna ask me for what? And if I just tell him what I'm gonna do with his money, there's a chance he's gonna say no. But if I come to a politician, politically try to sell my idea to give him his money, he'll buy it. That's politics. Instead of us talking Ruei Dei, this and that, it's not going to take us anywhere. Everybody here know what happened in South Sudan. But how can we move forward? That's a message we hear today. Giving peace a chance. Okay? Just so we can stop hearing the sound of gunfire. That's the first step. But I can sign a peace with any other community today. But if one of you guys don't find their heart to forgive each other, there's no point. I can sign paper all day, signing peace. But if you guys don't give or forgive each other, it'll be wasteful. So my message here for all of us today, let's reach out. If you want to debate with your friends about what happened in South Sudan, make it political. Buy his idea and sell your idea to your fellow friends. That you guys can find a solution. I'm not a politician, like I said, but I want to do the right things, you know? Okay? I want to do the right thing for people of South Sudan. And that includes my family too, and my tribe. But if only people in my community know me as a person that's always doing the right things, but the other community don't know me, the person that's doing the right things, then I'm failed. Because I'm not representing Southern Sudan. And today, we want to represent South Sudan. That's a message today. Anybody here is a politician. I want the next president for 20 years to come out of social media warriors. How does that sound? How great would it be? Okay? And how would you feel you talking negative today on social media and 20 years later they play your message on Facebook? And you try to campaign going from different state to state. How'd that feel? I watched a KKK member cry on CNN. Because the thing he did to do to black people in the 60s. But he changed as a man. But when they played the whole image, the guy broke down. So that's how you want to be remembered. You have a legit reason to do what you want to do. You have a right to fight, but fight with a cause. That's what you need to do. I want to do the right things, but if you step on my foot, I'm going to fight to protect myself and the sake of people of South Sudan. But you don't want to fight because I hate you because you're from a different community. That's not the message we want to send to Southern Sudanese, especially as an IO. We the outsider, we try to get in. And my message is, pull up your friend. It had to be Dinka or whatever. He don't have to buy an IO idea. But I guarantee right now, if I find a friend that say, I don't like IO, and I sit down and sell the IO ideology to him, knowing that, hey, equality is what we're fighting for. You can be whoever you want, but you cannot be who you want if the system is not preventing you from doing what you want to do. Okay? That's my message today. You know, sell your ideas. Sell the idea of Dr. Machar to people who don't know him. Okay? If somebody come to my village today and say, hey, we want equality for all the Southern Sudanese, I'm going to buy it. Because to give my chance, it doesn't matter what community you come from, tomorrow you can be president. That's equality. How does that feel? You come from a small tribe and become a president tomorrow. And let all the big tribe bow to you and say, you know what? That guy right there is from a small community. And look what he done for South Sudan. That's a pride you want to promote in your community. You want to sell the good image to your community and your neighbors. That's my message to all of you today. As we move forward from today, Anybody's a politician. You can join the IO and sell your idea to us, and we sell your idea, or we sell our idea to you. And Dr. Machar cannot take a step without me and you. So if you believe in his idea, you believe in him, he can be a great president of South Sudan, sell the good side of Dr. Machar. Don't sell it, hey, he's in Nuer, he should be a president. No, because tomorrow you're not going to be benefited because you're in Nuer. You got to put in work, even if he's a president. That's how equality is. So to all of us, I know I talk too much, but equality and giving peace a chance is our ideal of today. Tomorrow, the future is yours. You can be a president, you can be whoever you want, like a Donald Trump of South Sudan with all the business you have, and do whatever. That's equality. When people give you a chance to be who you are, that's equality. And that's why Dr. Machar is right there for that. You know? If you want a person that can promote the tribal ideas, I will not vote for him. Because I know he's not going to do the Nuer ideology. But we can find somebody who can do that. There's a lot of them in our community, but we want somebody who put South Sudan first. And everybody in that country had to work for themselves. You have to earn your respect. And that's my message for all of you today. You know, as we go through our school, live training, whatever we do in America, just know, and we all know, whatever we do here, half of it is for half of it, or 75% of it, for South Sudan. That's our goal. Tomorrow, if I became a farmer and I feed all the Southern Sudanese, I did my job. So we don't have to go to Kenya to buy food. We can grow our own food. That's the idea of Dr. Machar too. No, we can produce anything in South Sudan. That's sad for me as an agriculturist. Here, Americans say, "Oh, South Sudan is the breadbasket of East Africa," but we over here killing ourselves, and they over there want to steal everything. So we got to be smart. Let's promote peace. Let's move forward as a nation, and let's put Dr. Machar to do the right things, and we can be behind him and sell his idea to other communities too. And that's how politics is. And then we can produce our own next Dr. Machar. It could be in this room. It could be on social media. It could be on Twitters. That's our job, to produce the next one. So I would like to thank everybody who come here today. I know we don't have big numbers, but this is our first conference or fundraising in person. Next time, we might have a big number. Next time, we might even have Dr. Machar come around if things are really in the right direction. So for now, I would like to pass it back to Nyajuok, and I would like to say thanks to all the people that showed up. Welcome aboard. We need you guys to join us too as a member, or if you're interested in any position in our group, you can talk to Mr. Sherman, talk to one of us, if there's anything you can do, because we need everybody. And SPLMIA is for all of us. If you have an idea or a vision that you want to carry on with IO, come aboard. We can never get enough people. We can never get enough ideas. And if you get a good idea, you give it to Mathew Dobuol, he's going to get it to Dr. Machar, no problem. Then maybe we can put it to work. I would like to thank Kumai and DJ for supporting us today. It's been an honor that this is our first one, but there's more to come. And hope we have enough number next time. Thank you so much.
He's the Brigadier General in our movement, so I recognize you, General. Invite a friend of us, Mr. Paulino Juan. Paulino has been an active member of the Freedom Fighters. He's been on the ground himself. He's here with us, visiting here today, and perhaps he can bring that spirit of the Freedom Fighters to us tonight and maybe put in a word. So welcome, Paulino.
Hello? How we doing? Why are we looking all sad? What's going on? How we doing back here? All right. Well, my name is Paulino. Some of you guys know me by the name of Paul Keita, here in the state of Nebraska. I'm not going to talk a lot. First of all, I want to say thank you for inviting me to these occasions. SPLM Youth League. Myself, I used to be a chair for the youth here, state of Nebraska SPLM Youth League. So I'm actually familiar with this. And I'm also a former of SPLM Youth League, USA, where we used to be together under the leadership of Wiyual Gony from Lake State. Now, because the number is so less, because what happened in December 13th, so we all divided in half. I was fired in December 13th when that incident happened, because I stood up, I said, you know what Salva did is wrong. And my boss fired me. I was a secretary for information, the same title that, what's her name? Nyajuok Riek for the SPLM Youth League. So I say what happened in Juba is very wrong. He should not go and kill the innocent civilians. I'm a Ban. I'm from a Ban. I see a lot of familiar faces here. Okay. And when that happened, I made a decision that some of you should make or don't. I decided, instead of fighting the war here, I decided to go and fight on the ground. Well, I know some of you guys think like, what is going on to this man's head? Leaving America behind and going over there. Well, I got mad. I see a lot of people writing on Facebook, angry, fighting. Well, I want to take my anger out too. So I went, and I was the only Americans that I thought it was not fair. It wasn't for me. For some people, like Comrade Mathew Dobuol, they got lucky. But once I stepped in Addis Ababa, they just automatically just deployed me. I'm like, really? Okay. So within 2 days, I was just put in. Taught me how to use AK-47. I'm like, okay. This is what I asked for. I just walked down to my woods, walked down to Matiang. Like, all right. It's painful. But to cut it short, we have to forgive ourselves. Okay? We have to. This war, understand, it's beyond, what you see. But you have to look at it. We all South Sudanese. If we continue to kill ourselves, South Sudanese population is only 11 or 10 million. 10 million. And if we continue to kill ourselves, it will reduce lesser and lesser. Those who fighting the war out there, it's just like you guys. Young men, very young men, educated. Myself, I don't know, I'm from a battalion called Mobile Force. I don't know if you guys, Keita Mobile Force in Tukyalaban. So, I was being bounced around. Yeah, somebody did something wrong. The hires bought Walid. You guys call it Walid. So, just to kill us. To kill us. Why? Why? And so right now, like, I'm no longer a youth. It's because they always look at us young men, that we youth. We don't have any voice in this same SPLM party. I decided, you know what? I served enough of being a youth. Now I want my voice to be respected. And I went down there, and I got that. So now, Yaman Sabab, this SPLM youth, if we gonna stay behind and watch the old men running this show, we will always end up being used over and over and over and over until somebody steps in, like you, like Anna Boreal, like Comrade Mathew Dobuol, young man, and say, you know what? Enough is enough. This party is not only for Dinka, it's not only for Nuer, not Suluk, not Equatorian, not Maban, not Morley, etc. in South Sudan. When I was born in 80s, SPLM was already there. So my dad fought for it, for this country. When Jalaba was chasing us out, Garang said, you know what? Garang is a very smart man. He used his mind. He said, you know what? Every tribe go and fight on their land. And you know, we the odd people out, Maban are very close to Jalaba. So they put us there with GK. Okay, how are we gonna fight that? So we start defeating our side. So as Equatorian, so as those side of Blow, those side of Bentiu. That's why today we have this flag, South Sudan. Don't let anybody speak you down, saying that we, only one tribe, liberate this. All of us, Junubin, liberate South Sudan. Somebody says that. I don't care who you are. If you speak up and say that I'm Dinka, I'm Maban, I liberate this country by myself, I'd stand up against you. During the election, Salva killed the same Nuer that voted for him. Exactly the same people that elected him to power. He turned around and killed them. Bought in Matianganyor, bought in Galwang, just to kill the civilian. Why? Now, as we're speaking, I'm in favor of forgiving. I've seen it enough. Imagine going from here, okay, not knowing anything, facing everything, stepping over somebody is dead, eating what somebody is here. It's because of one person instigated the whole thing. How would you feel? How do you feel? Same brother. It's because he happened to be on the other side. And then you just fight. I just tell you one little thing, one little story. During, last year, somebody happened to be Maban, okay? And I'll make it short. We captured him, okay? We captured him. And when we captured him, we asked him, what are you doing here? He asked me, like, what are you doing here? I'm like, what? What are you doing here? He said, I'm here for my job. Okay. Who sent you here to suffer? So understand, suffer using the Junubin money to kill women like you, to kill children like you guys, to kill men, educated men like you guys, all of you. Ray, I seen you. I am familiar with you. And I read the article, what you said here. Very excellent. Youth need to rise. I understand some people say that this war is very useless, senseless. I guarantee you. I'm standing here, I'm saying that this war is the best war that I ever gonna fight. I guarantee that. When we fought Jalaba, yes, it's because the same thing. Jalaba was marginalizing us. You don't deserve this. After we liberate the country, and we gonna have another Jalaba among ourselves within us? Come on. Seriously, we have to look at South Sudan, how we're gonna move forward. I know that we lost a lot of people, educators one, but we have to look forward. There are kids coming. there's no country without youth. There's always a country, there's always a youth. I say thank you for inviting me here today. Governor Mathew Dobuol, team, I appreciate it, and I stop here. I wanted to continue, talk, elaborate more, but sometimes you have to, keep some information confidential to yourself. Then I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Thank you, Honorable Ambassador. I appreciate you.
And then we do know that, what the Silver Kid did is wrong. In the social media, or either, like we here in America. America is a peaceful nation. That is where everything started, right here. Like what we do, we went to Washington, D.C. That is a mobilization right there, as a youth. We can do it here in America, or here in Omaha, I would just advise you guys that, participate in political, Don't bring this guy down, just push him up. Don't bring him down. Not all of us will be a leader one day, but only one person. But like Sudan right now, you guys, compete, like I'm going to be a politician, I'm going to be like this. Not all of us will go to politics. Some of us will be doctors, some of us pilot, teachers, a different area. I will talk a lot, but I had a couple of questions, but I think that, it's not right time to ask. I will give it to Brother Khor.
As far as Dr. Machar's vision, we all heard him, on both occasions he spoke and he went everywhere. As for me, as a Nur, I know he's not doing Nur interest. He's not doing specifically Nur interest, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the fact that if I go back to Juba and I have an associate degree and a Denka guy got a bachelor degree, he's going to give it to the Denka guy, and I'm okay with it. The problem is if you're sitting here and thinking that because Riek is going to be, the president, and I'm going to get any favor, then you are mistaken. You have to get that through your head first. And the second thing is, like, for any of you guys that are leadership, that you want to be a leader, it's going to be tough for you to be in the national level as a leader if you didn't lead at your house first. That's one thing I want to add. So we got the little Chilang and so on and so on. You have to reach to these people too. Anyone who has influence, you have to reach to them. So as far as anyone who wants to be in leadership at SPLM, you have to be recognized at your house first before you can be in the nationals thing. That's one thing I want to add. As far as everything else, let's just try to support everything we can. We can't support a good leader, so I don't know. Let's try to support. We can see a bad one. That's all I can say.
You guys should just be excited. Just the community just being here and just spending time together is the most precious thing. Most precious thing we can do for ourselves. Right? I heard a lot of people talking about we're the next generation. Right? But when you say that, make sure you walk to walk. Not just talk to talk. Right? I heard some people stand up here and saying, you know what, we're the next generation that will change South Sudan. That's right. But when you say that, you gotta believe that. Khor said that, you know what, before you leave, before you get up here, you gotta leave your household. And say that I've been living here in Omaha for, I would say maybe 12 years, or maybe even more. Right? But your community here in Omaha is really devastated. You have 10,000 people in Omaha, but you don't have the resources to help your children, your kids. I I would say we're the third, maybe the fourth largest community in Omaha, but we don't have any resources. We don't have people standing up and saying, you know what? We need resources. We want our kids to go to school so we can better our community. We don't do that. But instead, you guys want to talk here and you guys want to say you guys want to go to South Sudan. How are you going to change South Sudan when you can't change your whole community here? How are you going to do that? You got to start here and then go there. All right? And also, you got to talk about politicians. When you say the word politician, make sure you got to think behind that word. Because most politicians today, they're not the brightest people. They have one goal in mind, and that's to, right, make their pockets heavy. Their goal is to wage war and be rich. That shouldn't be your goal. Your goal should be trying to make an impact in people's lives. Trying to make an impact and changing people. I went to South Sudan in May. Maybe some of you guys may have heard about my trip. I'm from Water, South Sudan. I'm from a little town. But when I went there, it was sad. It was sad because everything I saw was just, it reminded me of when I was a kid. All the little kids I saw running around naked, malnourished, eating 1 meal a day. That hurt me. That hurt me badly. That's what some of you guys got to think about when you talk about being a politician. When you're a politician, you want to get up here. You want to be up here because you want to make a change. Yeah, not just go up there because of the power and the glamour. Some of you, the next president of South Sudan will be someone that have been hurt, have been enduring life. Not just someone who went to UK, their family had a lot of money. But someone who endured life, who went to refugee camp, who slept in a cold, muddy tent. Because you know why? Once they get up there, now they know how life is. They know how life is. They know how hard life is. Now they can take care of that little kid that don't have shoes on their feet. They can know how to help people. Politicians, fellas, wage war. And you know who fight the war? Young kids who don't even know what's going on. Young kids who had no clue. Who had no clue what's going on. They give them guns. Guess what? They go to war. They die. And the big guy who's up here, sleeping in hotels. White kids die. They don't care. They don't care. Because that's not, they just there because they just because the power and just glamour. But when some of you guys will someday have that opportunity. But when you do, make it worth it. Make it worth it. Make it count, man. Make it count. Because you will save someone's life. You're not just gonna add number to the graves, you will change someone's life. And you gotta have a binary thinking, not just one, just narrow-minded. You gotta have binary thinking, meaning you gotta think two ways. Just because someone say, you know what, oh, there will be a peace, stability. Stability. You gotta ask yourself, really? And your community, I went to Juba. Juba looked nice, it looked like here. But north, 400 miles north, there were people dying of hunger. United Nations bring food every single day. They've been doing that for, I don't know, maybe a century. It's not gonna stop. That's what they do. But when are you guys gonna empower your community to the point that you would have food? Because your country have potential to produce oil and also the other resources. But everyone want to be politicians. Everyone want to be a politician. Everyone want to be a politician. As a North people, right? I'm for unity. But it will come down to the North, you guys spending time together, planning, strategizing what you will do. Because it will come down to competition. The Dinka not gonna let you just walk away with it. You gotta stand up and say, you know what? I deserve this because I will change South Sudan. Not because I want to sleep in a nice hotel. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys, I love you guys. And let's make this right. Thank you.
Nebraska. Gatluak Tut. Gatluak is a part of our movement, and he is the chair deputy for this whole event. And welcome, Gatluak.
Thank you everyone for coming. Again, my name is Gatluak Tut Wie, as you all know. Anybody from Nebraska here know who I am very well. Well known in Nebraska, especially at churches. I play keyboard at church. I involve a lot of community activities. A lot of young guys know me. I play basketball with you guys. They call me slow motion because I usually break people's legs slowly, right? All right, just a little joke. Thank you for coming, everyone. I'm the chairman of the convention, as Comrade Nyajuok mentioned. I'm not going to talk a lot because we against the time. The time is running. We were supposed to start this program at 3 o'clock, and then the time changed because there was another event that was going on here. So we changed it from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and then we were here at 5:30. But from 5:30 till now, it's been kind of like struggle. We're trying to get people here, people were coming in and out, and you know, as a Sudanese in general, we got used to this system that I don't want to be the first person here and wait for 12 hours or the next 3 hours. So the first person that came here left, hoping that by the time they come back, there will be 20 people. You know, maybe they come back like 2 hours later, they find one person and said, oh, I'll come back. But before they came back, there was 2 other people that came and left, because they wanted to wait for another 20 people. So that's how it goes. Eventually, something got to change. Otherwise, it's gonna be a struggle for a very long time. Right now, we would be going toward ending of this conference. Instead, we are starting it right now. This is difficult, and something needed to change seriously for the future of our community. Otherwise, we are moving backward. We're not going forward at all. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming. We didn't expect this group of people. It's very. It's my pleasure that you guys made it to this convention. It's the first time SPLM Youth League, under the leadership of Mathew Dobuol Ruon, hosts a convention. And to me, by far, it's, I would say it's the only first convention, the SPLM Youth League convention in the USA that has a large amount of people like this, especially the youth. I never seen a different faiths of youth that come for an SPLM organization like this before. So give yourself a hand for this. Like I said, I'm not going to talk a lot. I will only say a little bit. I already did talk a lot. Our convention today is basically we're only going to discuss our vision, the vision of the SPLM, the official establishment of the SPLM here in the United States, SPLM Youth League. Matter of fact, I actually want to apologize because we're supposed to say Viva SPLM, right? Viva SPLM. Nobody said it since the beginning. Viva SPLM. Viva SPLM. We need to get used to that. I know it's new, but we need to get used to it. It's part of our movement as the SPLMIO, because the IO is actually going away right now. So we will be using the Viva SPLM. Viva SPLM, that's what we'll be using. This agenda that I will be outlining right now, I'm not going to go through details. Our chairman will go through detail with it. I'm just going to mention what we are here for and what we will be hearing from the next speakers. The agenda are the official establishment of the SPLM Youth League in the USA, mission and the vision of the SPLM Youth League in the USA, the role of the SPLM Youth League in the USA and in our country. We decided we could have a little fundraising after we done with our conference or with our meeting. That fundraising is part of the agenda. The fifth one is we need to support the peace, which is going on right now. It's not completely settled until we're all involved. That peace needs you, me, him, and whoever is not here. And we all need to support that to stop what's going on in South Sudan, what our brother Ray mentioned. Don't just say it, do something about it to show your support. 6, our objectives, ideology of the SPLM Youth League in the US. And number 7, the code of conduct for the SPLM Youth League in America. This is the agenda that we will be talking about for the next hour or so before we can start our fundraising. And I will not go further. I will leave it to our chairman to go in detail with all this agenda that I have mentioned. And I will leave it from here. I'm not going to do a lot of encouragement because the time is running out. I just want to say thank you for coming to the convention and for all the little time that you have taken tonight to spend it with us. It's important. We know that you love peace, that's why you're here. And we know that you can make a difference. So thank you again. And let's have a wonderful night together here.
I'm going to introduce the state chapter SPLM chairperson, both Dot.
SPLM Viva! SPLM Viva! SPLM Viva! First, I would like to say thank you everybody for coming to this great event. This is part of the change that we are open to do in South Sudan. First, I would like to recognize our ambassador, Honorable Ruei Dei, our coordinator, Sabata, Chairman Dobuol, General Paulino, all the protocol observed. Thank you very much for coming. The first thing I want to tell you guys is the theme for this is giving peace a chance. As a young person, what would you do to give peace a chance in South Sudan? Right now, as we speak, we have over 3 tribes in this room, or 4. Raise your hand if you're from a different tribe and you want to make a change in South Sudan. Look around the room, see how many people are of a different tribe that came to this event. Most of these people are young people, and actions speak louder than words. As Brother Ray said, if you're just talking and not doing, what are you doing? I believe our chairman, Mathew Dobuol, has done it. Give him a hand, please. This is a political event. Most of the times, we South Sudanese would like to push ourselves down a lot of times. Just because you have a personal problem with that person. You want to push him down as much as you can to make sure that he's down. What we need to do is lift each other up. If we don't do it, nobody will. So the more united we are, we don't see each other as Denka, as Shuluk, as Nuer, as Maban. We look at ourselves as South Sudanese, our country will be better, starting with us. They say change start within. If we don't love each other, what makes you think Kawang don't love us? You have to think carefully. Do you want to be a divisive leader, or you want to be a person that unites people? Our country needs us, especially the young people in this country. We understand democracy, we lived it. We understand hatred, we see it every day. Racism, workplace, violence. And yet, we're not yet to learn how can we change our country back home. We all have a task to do. Our country is broken, and the people that will fix it is us. The only way that we can do that is truly read the report that came out, the AU report. I was sad for 3 days when I read it. I'm a survivor of the Juba massacre. I seen what happened with my own eyes. But with the level of extent that I read, it just blew my mind that a human being could force another human being to eat somebody's blood and then force somebody to eat their remains. That's just outrageous. And how are we going to change that if we just sit here and bicker with each other? We have a long way to go. You know what I mean? Salva Kiir must go for South Sudan to be a better country. I'm not a tribalist, I'm a nationalist. Being a nationalist doesn't mean that you let one person get beat. South Sudan got 64 tribes. 20,000 Nuer ethnics were killed in 3 days. You guys read the report? Raise your hand if you read the report. Look around. We all read the report, right? What are we going to do about the report?
We need action.
We need action, right? According to the report, for us to truly forgive each other, we have to be truthful about what happened. Once you're truthful about what happened, you have to forgive. Once you forgive, you move on, you hold accountability to that person. Are we ready to forgive? That's the question. Forgiveness and accountability come to hand in hand. You can't call for forgiveness, yet do not call for accountability. So make sure it doesn't happen again. We, the young people, could do a lot. In America, we're educated. We know English, math, and science. 3 things in life that you need. But yet we don't see that in each other. I might have gone too long, but it's just a sadness from reading from the report that I read. It's just all this week I've just been down. because it's sad to me, because I knew those people personally that passed away in Juba. And I believe we could do a lot better job at remembering their sacrifice, what they've made, and we made hero out of them. They are forever heroes to South Sudan. So we need to give thanks to them by taking action in changing our community here and in South Sudan. We have broken families, broken homes, but yet nobody's taking action. Domestic violence, drunkenness, and all this stuff are taken within our community, but nobody's want to address it. Mental illness is a big issue, depression. But we, the young people, are educated enough to where we can change that, and we know we can change that. I might have went off topic to what I'm talking about here, but those are in my heart. The Bible says if you have something in your heart, let it out. Correct? Are we together?
Yes.
All right. And so I might have gone too long. What I really want you guys all to do tonight is just think in your heart is like, what do you want South Sudan to look like in 5 years by what you're doing today? If you're not taking action, then you're doing something wrong. If you're not standing yourself saying, are my actions going to make South Sudan a better country tomorrow? Just because you speak to a different guy from a different tribe that you guys are friends, and you don't be truthful to him about what happened in Juba, the friendship will not last long. You have to be truthful about him. Tell him, hey, what you guys did was wrong, but this is what we can fix it. If he says, I accept that's wrong, yes, you guys can move on. But he doesn't accept that, why be friends with him? If he forces you to drink your own cousin blood, if not, he'll shoot you. What makes you think you're going to shake their hands? We as South Sudanese have to realize that the idea of tribalism has to die for us to move forward. If you click on tribe, you're not going to get anywhere. SPLM is a party that represents all South Sudanese. And yet you have to think in that aspect of, I'm a South Sudanese. Once you come to the SPLM event, you're no longer a tribe. You are a South Sudanese, period. And once we think of it, we'll do a lot better in the future. I'm going to introduce our visionary chairman, Comrade Mathew Dobuol. He's a member of the, I don't have his biography, but just by my head, he went to cadet school in Pagak, and he's also a member of the National Secretariat. Please give him a hand and welcome our Comrade Chairman, Mathew Dobuol Ruon.
Good evening. Thank you. Ambassador Rath, Mr. Coordinator, General, and Mr. Booth, and all the protocol observed. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming this evening. It's been a long day for us, but we've been told that this is how things go here in this city of Omaha. But we do appreciate everybody else for staying up with us this late today. Today, I would like to say this is the first conference for SPLM Youth, SPLMIA Youth League in the United States under my leadership. And I would like to say that it is one of the biggest youth league event that I've been to. So I'm thankful for that. And before I go ahead to make my statements, SPLMIA, Viva SPLM. Thank you. As Mr. Gatluak Tut said earlier, our agenda today is pretty clear. We want to introduce ourselves to you guys. What is the SPLM Youth League? What is the SPLM in general? So today's dialogue, we want this dialogue to be about the party, so that if any of you has an interest in the party, they can join us. Our structure of the leadership of the SPLM Youth League has been expanded so that anyone with an interest who wants to volunteer, wants to learn about the SPLM party, can be part of it and can join as well. First of all, I'd like to make a statement by saying I stand here today, as a testament of Dr. Riek Machar's visionary leadership. This is the man who has dedicated most of his life to changing South Sudan and making it a country that we can all be proud of. For those of you who don't know, Dr. Riek was the founder of the SPLM Youth League. So without him, the youth would not have a voice in the politics of South Sudan. The SPLM Youth League was founded in 1985, and this is one reason that the youth should support this kind of leadership today of Dr. Machar. Without him, I could never stand beside an ambassador as I'm asked today. So in that way, Dr. Riek has given us a pathway, a gateway to enter South Sudanese politics, as long as we take that step, and as long as we are serious enough about learning about the politics of our country. He has given us a chance to build ourselves as leaders in that way. But as I stand here, I'm also reminded of the reality of the situation that we are in today in our country. I would say that, after 30 years, I think 50 years of fighting, we are in the same cycle of violence. I would say that I'm torn for the blood spill. I would say that my heart is torn for the justice that was denied the people that were killed in Juba by the AU report that came out yesterday. So what do we do about that as the leaders of tomorrow? How do we go forward about that? But before I can answer that question, I would like to say that why am I so passionate about the SPLM? I know a lot of you guys, the name SPLM ringing with it. We are, we dislike it a lot, and we are quite wary about the SPLM. And we claim that the SPLM has killed people here and has killed people there. But for me, I grew up in the SPLM in a way. In the mid-90s, we found ourselves, talking to, we see the adults talking about the SPLM. You would hear them talk about Dr. Riek, about Dr. John Garang, and sometimes even Salva Kiir as well. And they would come to your town, and they would take over the town, they would sing all these great songs about the SPLM. To develop strong, influential national leaders of tomorrow, champions of the core values and the principles of the SPLM, SPLA, to struggle for reform and a just system of democracy, freedom, justice, and equality, peace and prosperity under the federalism, under the federal systems of governance in South Sudan. And we hold that effective organization of the youth of the party today will help us move this piece forward. So in simple terms, if we can be serious about the matters of our country today and organize ourselves so that we understand how even the system works, then if we go back there, we can actually implement that system as well. So once again, learning about the party again. And our mission is to organize ourselves at every state level so that we have a chairperson in the state, we have city coordinators and such, and there's a presence of the SPLM, SPLA organ at any state. I think we have 15 states that are supporting the SPLM, SPLA within the United States today. So the role of the SPLM, what is it? Or the SPLM Youth League? A lot of you guys want to know. And the Youth League is the popular organ of the party. It is the backbone of any nation, of any party. And I think that if we are knowledgeable about the party of the SPLM, SPLA, one, we would become the foot soldiers. We would be going to churches. We would be going to student unions. We would be going to any organization that talk informed about what the SPLM is, so that we can actually influence policies in the country that can help us. Policies that are specific to youth or specific to gender and things like that. Those would come to us, but without us being informed about what the party is, we would not be able to actually achieve or implement the role of what the Youth League should be in the party. It's also to develop capable youth that are leaders of tomorrow. As you can see, we've been given a doorway, literally. If you guys saw from last tour of Dr. Machar and his team, he was surrounded by young people. You know, Honorable Rat is a young man. This is the leadership, this is the senior leadership that we have today. So what do we have to lose? Nothing. I think that this is the kind of leader that we all need to stand behind, that we all need to embrace the ideologies that we are putting forth. And he can, you know, without us being informed about the ideologies of the party, the principles of the party, it becomes rhetoric. It becomes rhetoric from him. He is telling us all these things. Fagat Conference, Nasser Conference, all these are written documents. We have the peace agreement. Without us having a true knowledge of what those things are, and then it becomes rhetoric. It becomes nothing, and our country does not move forward. So let us inform ourselves about what the party is. And today, Honorable Rat and the national coordinator will expand about what this party is, so that today anyone in the US here can leave out and know what the purpose of the SPLM Youth League is today. I would like to comment on the peace and what we should do to help the peace. When this peace was signed, I was quite happy, and it's not that I'm a coward. No, I've been here, actually been on the ground myself, carried ammunition myself. But I was happy because this peace gave the South Sudanese youth a break, and it stopped the bleeding that was happening. And this is not one side, this is both sides. It is us that are fighting today. There is this saying in Lord that says, it's quite true. But how often do we have to continue to do this, where every generation, your fathers liberated us from Sudan, our fathers. Then now we're fighting to liberate ourselves again. Do we want our kids to liberate us again? No, I want this to stop today. I don't want my son to fight another war at all. Okay? And it starts by us, this time, the SPLM is a clean break. It's a way forward to start new, it's a new beginning. And with every new beginning, without the right people, without the right mechanisms in the system, there's a chance for it to fail again. The SPLM was a great movement to begin with, but they had one fault in mind, that their policies, they never made policies that were to deliver social services to people. It was so limited to liberation. And after the liberation happened, we sat down and did nothing. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that today. Once this peace is implemented, once we can fight for this peace, then we will go ahead and support our senior members, and our voice can be brought up in that way. So I say, please read the peace agreement in detail, over and over again. When we were in Minnesota, my Nyuon said something like, she read the CPA and knew by heart. That is real passion, because the CPA was as fragile as this peace, yet it brought us our freedom. So this piece is great. I think if we all stand behind it, and if we do read it, then we can comment on social media effectively, without just throwing random words on it. We can advocate among the grassroots communities and see how great it is, and take out the best points. If possible, we can do a public rally, wherever there needs to be, UN. I did forget one group. I do want to thank all those youth that were running back and forth from DC and New York all those time doing rallies. I think our voice went so far to that as such. So that is what I would say on peace today. And I would just like to announce that officially we have a structure that gives a lot of power of the SPLM youth to the state level. More power to the state level, meaning that the national office as I am sitting today will be a lot smaller, where most people work will be done at state level, at the grassroots level, where there is a chairperson and there is a city coordinators in every city where there's enough population of South Sudanese. So all of you guys have a chance at a shot to try your leadership, to be involved in the movement as well. Before I make my last statement, I would just like to say, a leader is not a one person that chooses to lead when it's convenient for them. If that were true, we would never have South Sudan today. Had Dr. Machar just said, I got my PhD, I'm just going to go sit home and teach or do what, we would never have South Sudan today. If that were true, our ambassadors, both of them, who left their families wherever they are, they came here to the United States for the sake of the movement. They chose to lead us in that time. So we don't have to wait for tomorrow to lead ourselves. We must take that step today as well. Lastly, I would just like to say that as we gather here today, so I would just please like to say thank you and support us. As we said earlier, we would like to raise some funds. One, we will, so that we can host rallies like this in every state and uplift the Youth League as well in those states. And any offers, we need some funding. And this place is also rented from whatever we can put together. So that's why we need your help, one. Two, I've been invited by the leadership to actually go to Fagak conference as well. And a lot of youth leaders from everywhere are going to Fagak. And we are fighting to make sure that in the next government, the youth do have a percentage. I think if you guys know, 25% Kenyan money, they give money at that percentage. So we want youth to have maybe at least 15% of that. So I will go myself there. And this is high time for all the freedom fighters that are back in Fagak. And it would be nice to also show them that there is a youth over here that support them in that manner. So I would take that responsibility myself if anything amounts to anything, to take it there and bring it to them myself. Without further ado, thank you very much. I would like to thank everybody else for being here today. That'll conclude my words. Thank you, guys.
At this moment, I'm going to take the time to introduce to you guys someone I met back in May. I actually met him at the SPLM first elections here in the USA, and he was elected by a very diverse crowd of people to be the coordinator of the SPLM in the USA. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce Mr. Sabata.
Thank you. I would like to begin by saying hi to everybody. And Dobuol, you've done a very, very good job. You've done a very perfect job. You've created a forum that at least I feel I can connect today with some people and exchange some of the few things that I have in mind that I think will help us make some good decisions for the change we are all looking for. And you guys who are working with Dobuol in the Office of the Youth Chairman, I really appreciate the hard work that you guys are doing. Keep it up. One thing that I would ask from you people is if you guys can get, I'm sure all of you guys are 18 years above, just go ahead and register your names with the chapter offices of the states that you guys come from, so that your names will be officially registered as party members of the SPLM in opposition. Okay? If you're coming from Nebraska, meet with Comrade Monkwell, he's the chairman here, and he'll register your name. If you're living in Minnesota, look for Gondor. If you guys don't have their information, check with me. I'll give you guys their information and get registered to the party. It's really very important. And it's very important. I will give you 3 main reasons. And the 3 main reasons that I will be giving, hopefully, will address some of the concerns of other brothers who have come up and gave their points of view here. Brothers, sisters, first of all, when you guys see me here, I heard the name politician a lot. Today, when people talk of politicians, it takes a negative connotation. But in essence, politicians are community developers. Politicians are public servants. They serve you in things that you don't realize. They serve you in things that you just don't seem to see, especially when you're so focused with your private life, that is in private realm. Politicians get entangled in what is called public interest. We'll address these things as time goes by. However, what I've noticed is, we all agree on the fact that let us create a change. We all agree that let's create a positive change. We all have different views in our minds there of how those change will come to be. I want to remind you that we live in a society. We are entangled together. We share space. Our minds work differently. But how do we form common interests that will eventually help us live comfortably all together? The standard way by which each individual who believes he or she has certain values in his mind that he or she thinks best will serve lives. The standard method of getting those values ahead is this. You cannot get those values as an individual to the national level. The only way is, first of all, you got to register in a party, in a political party. And before you even register in that political party, you first of all observe the ideologies of those parties. Here in America, I will give some example with America because we live here. We live here in America, it's easier. When you look at the Democrats, when they speak, when they talk of their vision, when they speak of what they stand for, does it correspond with what you believe is right? If the answer is yes, then you will feel that, okay, then I should register with this party. Eventually, when I'm with this party, then the things that I have in mind, because once I form a coalition with those people who think like me, we call ourselves a party or interest group, then we will put our petition that we want certain things, A, B, C, D, to be implemented, and that will be good for the nation. Because if it's good for the society, eventually, because you are living within that society, then you will live within the values that you believe in, and you will be living comfortably. So what you do is that when you put the petition, and the petition maneuvers to the floor, and it gets voted by the same politicians whom you have elected to go and represent you, then your values will appear at the national level. And when your values are at the national level, then you don't have any problems as individuals. Because whatever policies gets implemented, the policies that are supposed to enshrine the values that you live by, are your original beliefs that you think are right. But if you do the opposite, you have those beliefs in mind, but you don't have any idea on how to promote those beliefs to the national level, those people whose ideas are contrary to yours, those people whose ideas are contrary to yours, and you guys live together, will form themselves, make their own party, write their own petition, maneuver their values to the national level. And then they will legislate policies that you will find yourself stuck with things that you don't like. And all you will do is whine to Tarafira. That is not smart. That is not smart. That is why, if you think you have better ideas of how tomorrow, next tomorrow, you have those ideas that will make Sudan, or South Sudan rather, better, come to the party. Come and register your name. Because tomorrow, next tomorrow, this is now being signed. This government of national unity will only last for 2 years. The chairman of your party may end up becoming a presidential candidate. When the chairman of your party becomes a presidential candidate, he will install, because you come from that party, when he becomes a presidential candidate, you have a lot of work to do to get him to that position. Because when he gets to that position, then that party is already being put to power. And if that party is being put to power, then your ideas can then manifest in the society. And because you live in that society, then you are living within your own ideas. Who doesn't want to live within his own ideas or her own ideas? This is just human nature. That is why it's very important that you guys come to join the party, because this is a smart way to get the things that you believe are good to be promoted or installed to the national level. Now, another thing that I would like to bring to you is youth usually bring enthusiasm within a party. You activate a party. Because if the chairman of our party is going to be a candidate in 2.5 years, remember, there are other parties also who are trying to bring their candidates up, because they believe they have values that, if installed at a national level, is best. If you don't play your cards well, if 2 years has lapsed and you have not infiltrated to the people, to the grassroots, and persuaded people to be your supporters, then in 2.5 years, when the time for election comes, you will want people to rally behind your candidate, and you'll find out that those people have already rallied behind other candidates. What will you do? Then our candidate will fail election? If our candidate fails election, then what happens? Situation will not change. Then you have not done the change. Fellow youth, register. We are holding a party convention next year. We hope to call the chairman, because he is the chairman of the party. We also hope to call a gentleman in Nairobi. His office is the top office just underneath that of the chairman that deals with party affairs. We also expect to call him, and we'll hear more from him. And I encourage you to join the party because it's good for our candidate. It's good for you to put your own ideologies to the top, national level. If you believe those ideas are good, bring them up. And let's run that country with the ideas that we think are good for everybody, for every tribe, and we'll all enjoy. If you want to make that idea to be like America, if you want to make that country to be like America, take these ideas. Take the ideas with America. Once you're going to school, take the ideas with America. But when you take these ideas with America, there are some people there, come on, into parties. They have their own parties, SPLM DC, and what? You guys are going to compete. You play your cards. I suggest register. I suggest that you register to the party, and let's start rallying support for our candidate, so that in 2 years and a half we would have rallied enough supporters, so that if we don't put our candidate sooner enough, by any means, we'll put him through election at the end of the formation of the government of national unity. It's very important because by having him there, your ideology will go to the national level. It is a pity that those who are running the country now, they are brothers. We don't hate them. We just hate the ideas that they have. The ideas that they are installing, running the country. Those ideas are not democratic ideas. Those ideas are not democratic by all means. A simple understanding of the democratic theory is that when you are running a nation under a democratic theory, the power belongs to the people. The people vote representatives to parliament. Those people in the parliament make decisions. That means these people have already made the decision. However, what is happening right now is not like that. There is parliament by men. The parliament don't make decisions. There is a group called Joint Council of Elders. They do the role of the party. So when you apply democratic principles in what is happening there, then the country does not belong to the people. The country belongs to whoever the Joint Council of Elders are representing. It is not my analysis. I am simply applying the democratic theory to that situation and come up with that conclusion. If you guys are okay with it, then you guys will not worry about registering. But if you guys want to create the change that you guys have been talking about, let's register and let's move our ideologies to the national level. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Welcome the Women League coordinator, Ms. Nyagile Thot. Thank you for coming in. I do want to give you the time to come and speak to our crowd.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Nyagile. I'm a Women League, National Women League, All USA. Sorry, I came late because I set up a little bit of meeting today, try to gathering some women, for thing for my office. So sorry, I came late because of that. I thought it would be like easy, quick, like what I have been planned, but it didn't go that way because there's a lot of questions coming up and we try to solve those issues. Thank God I made it. I thank you all the women who came here today to attend this. And I thanks, Secretariat Sabata for him to come here, and I thank you to Honorable Raz, to attend this, and thank you, Dobuol, for doing that. I received all your message and the information. She told me about this gathering conference, and I attend this today, and thank all of you for your attending this conference. Today's is very, very good days. Seeing young people coming together, all over South Sudan to support this. You guys are the future in our countries. If we fail, you guys will be the head of us. You guys will lift all of us up. You guys will be the leader, the future in our country, Southern Sudan. I'm proud of you, and I support all of you together. And I want you to continue to be united together for better South Sudan for tomorrow. Some of us will not make it to our country because of the ages. We've been working hard in this country. Sometimes when we go back home, we will be, no feet, no teeth, and we will be, some of our part will be broken. We won't do anything. You guys will be the leaders. You guys will be the carrier for our countries. And you guys, all of you will be our eyes. You guys will be the teachers. You guys will go back and help our people back home and teach those of your ages. Show them how democratic South Sudan is. We need that country. We want to be free in that country. That's what we fight for North South Sudan. We need that freedom in that land. And you guys will be the ones who show people, how it is. I won't take a lot of time. I won't take your time. I just came here to support you guys. Thank you so much.
You guys are doing good. I know the talking sometimes go off, but I would just like to introduce one of SPLMIA chapter, state chapter in Tennessee. I mentioned this guy before, Mr. Michael Garwick. He's a shared SPLMIA chapter in the state of Tennessee. We grew up together, and I knew since day one this guy would be a politician. Because the thing we used to do, he always give away our money to people in need. And sometimes I hate it. But no further ado, Mr. Michael Gatluak, SPLMIA chairperson in the state of Tennessee. Welcome.
First of all, I would like to thank you, Mr. Dobuol and your team, Mr. Booth, the chairman here in the state of Nebraska, and of course, my boss, Mr. Sabata Ramba. Thank you for coming today. And I would like to say thank you to everyone for coming. I drove all the way from Tennessee because I think this is a very important moment for our movement. The Youth League is very important, not because we are much younger than our older generation, which is our father generation, but because we think a little bit different than our father generation. Our father generation is, I'm not saying they're bad people or they're full of hate, but they've been doing things a very different way, sometimes very destructive. And I hope highly that
because we came to the United States, we learn a different way of thinking. And hopefully back home, when we go back, we can change the way we do our politics. Secondly, it is very important that we organize. One person cannot make a difference. I cannot make a difference by myself. You cannot make a difference by yourself. But if we come together as a group, as a party, we can make a lot of changes. Riek Machar tried it in Juba. He was chased out of Juba. If he came together with a lot of people, they would make a lot of difference. But because he was by himself, it did not work. And today a lot of our people are dying every single day. And we should keep them in our mind. And hopefully this will never happen again, what happened to our country. When there's change in the country, people die. We lost a lot of people. We are all victims, Dinka, Nuer, and other tribes as well. So it's going to be a very tough road to go back to where we used to, but hopefully we can do a different different way this time. So I'd just like to say I'm just here as a supporter of the Youth League, of you guys. If you guys need any help in any way in my state, you guys know my number. All you gotta do is call me. And thank you.
He's our ambassador in the U.S. He's been here with us struggling for the past 2 years. Ambassador Honorable Rab Mochtam. Please welcome to the table. And after that, we can continue with our fundraising. Thank you. Come on. Give him a hand. Let's go.
Thank you, VCD. I thought it was going to be like a workshop, so I prepared myself to come and teach about the SPLM. So thank you very much, Khor Dobuol. Thank you, Sabata, Nyagile, and thank you everybody for coming here tonight. I know it is one of the biggest youth meeting that I have ever been to since I came to US. And that shows that the leadership that was elected last May actually started the job and they're doing it well. I'm just going to be like, I will take it like a workshop. I will not take it like just giving a speech, and because we want to share ideas. And what is SPLM as a party? How many of you are members of the SPLM? Can I see your hand up, please? How many of you are members of the SPLM? The members of the SPLM. So, okay. We say it in SPLM, Ruei is kind of a little bit becoming something useless, I should say it that way. So in South Africa, the ANC used to say Biba, ANC, Biba. So I guess when our leadership were used to go to South Africa to attend a meeting, they came up with this. There is a meaning when we say Oye, there is also a meaning, even though in South Sudan we become to say it without even knowing what is the meaning of Oye. So the Biba SPLM is something moving forward. And our leadership felt that the SPLM in opposition, as we used to call it, is moving forward. So we borrowed that one from South African ANC. We say Biba, SPLM, Biba. And I want us to practice it. We don't just say Biba, SPLM, Biba, SPLM. The person that's saying it will say Biba, SPLM, and then you, the audience, will say Biba. Can we say it together? Biba, SPLM. Biba. Biba, SPLM. Biba. Okay, I know you guys have been sitting for a long time. What is the SPLM of the party? You know, a lot of people, they think, what I want from you guys is not just talking. You need to learn. You need to study the SPLM. You need to know the SPLM. Let me give you an example. When I was in secondary school in Sudan, I went to university. I thought I know SPLM because I was born during the war. Of course, I born before the SPLM was born for some years, but not so many years. And we have been hearing the name SPLM, SPLA, SPLM, SPLA. I thought I knew it. So until I went to the university in Khartoum, and people begin to come and teach us, recruit us in the school and teach us about SPLM, the ideology of the SPLM. This is when I learned that I did not know SPLM before. But if you ask me before, somebody tell me what is the SPLM, I would say, I know SPLM. But that was not true. The SPLM, let me give you a simple example. It is like you have the church denomination. You have the Catholic, you have the Seventh-day Adventist, you have Protestant. And I believe today, if you've never been in Catholic, you used to go to Seventh-day Adventist, or you are a Protestant, for example, Presbyterian church. The day you will go and pray with Catholic, you will know that you are a Christian, but you don't know what do the Catholic do. Because Catholic is the denomination that has got a doctrine that you need to learn that will tell you when you come to pray with the Catholic people, you have to do certain things that you don't do in Seventh-day Adventist. But if you tell me because you are a Christian, you are born again, you are baptized, so you know Jesus, and you can be at any church and maybe perform any services, that will be a big mistake. This is exactly like the party. The parties, there are so many parties in the world. Take example here in the US, you have two big parties, which is a Republican and the Democratic Party. They have different ideology. They have different principles. They have different values. They have different characters. If you belong to Democratic Party and you want to cross over to go to Republican Party, you cannot just go and claim to be a leader in that party unless you have to read and understand the doctrine of the Republican Party. Therefore, we are here today to talk about SPLM. We have 4 documents that have been just filed by the leadership: the Constitution of the SPLM, the Code of Conduct, we have the Rule and Regulation, we have the Manifesto. These 4 documents, these are what you guys want to know, are the young people who have energy and want to learn and want to be part of this country building. There is a saying that our bodies or our personalities are not private to the nation. Your body is not private to the nation, and my body or myself, I'm not private to the nation. And by saying this, it means that the nation needs all of us. You may say this politics belongs to those of Dobuol and Nyagile and Sabata. What need me? Even if I'm not participating, so it does not make any change. But that is a big mistake because your body is not private to the nation. The nation needs all of us. We need to participate equally. But you could not do it and you will never do it unless you are taught and you know what you are doing. And the youth, actually, the young people, we have a lot of many saying about the youth in Nuer language, for example. And in English also, they say youth, they are the backbone of the nation. Youth, they are the future of the country. Youth, they are everything that a country needs to grow, a country needs to develop. But youth will also be the downfall of the country, of the nation, if they don't know what they are doing. And as a young person, You need to learn from other people. You may go to university, have a degree in medicine, have a degree in engineering, but if you have not gone through, by the way, politics and education, they are two different things. All of you are educated. You have all degree and master's degree and all this. But if we come to the field of politics, if you have never done that, you need to go and ask somebody, how do you do it? So opening yourself for learning, that will be a good thing to do. Let me tell you what Dr. Riek have done. Dr. Riek in 1985, when he left UK after he graduated with his PhD degree, he decided to join the movement. The first thing he was the youth. He formed the Youth League for the SPLM, as Dobuol said it. And Dr. Riek also have done something. He designed the SPLM flag. This flag over here was designed by them. I did not know this until he told me recently when he came to US. He was asked about the flag in Utah. And he talked about how he designed the flag. Because John Garang that time asked him, Dr. Riek, we want to form a movement and we need a flag. Can you please go and design for us something? Dr. Riek designed that flag. And the young man who have energy, then he did it. Dr. Riek also did this. You know, in 1991, that a lot of people are talking, 1991 caused problem, a lot of people died. In 1991, actually, were the birth of the self-determination for the Republic of South Sudan. And it was done also by a young man then, who is now become a leader of SPLM in opposition. Dr. Riek also is now championing the federal system in the Republic of South Sudan to be the system of the to be the governance system that we use to govern ourselves as the different, of the diverse community. We have the constitution of the SPLM. One thing, the constitution talk about the name of the SPLM. It say our name should be SPLM, SPLA. If you talk about opposition was just imposed on us by the AU mediation or the African Union. It was not a name, but it was enforced on us. The Constitution also talk about being a member of the SPLM, a member of the party. I have all the documents here. I will not go through them all, but I will try to highlight some of the few things that you may need that will help you to go ahead with the work of the SPLM. Number one is our Constitution of the SPLM. It says the party shall be known as the Sudan People Liberation Movement, which are abbreviated as SPLM, SPLA. We have the characteristic of the SPLM. The characteristic of the SPLM, we are a democratic party. Our membership is based on a membership. We are a membership-based party. And our membership is composed from different tribes, from different diversity, not only one tribe. There have been a lot of people who are talking, Nuer and Denka and all this kind of issue. You don't even have to think about one ethnic group when you talk about SPLM. One thing comes to your mind when you belong to the SPLM party, the ideology of the SPLM party. What are the ideology of the SPLM party? Because you form a party, you want to rule a country. You want to rule a country, you have values, you have ideology that you come and teach to your people, and then you will take it out. For example, if Sabata was talking about the presidential candidate, what we are doing here at the party is that our intention is to become a ruling party in the Republic of South Sudan. And how are you going to do it? First of all, you have to know your values. You have to know your character. You have to know your objective and ideology. What are your ideology? Our ideology is that we want to make South Sudan a free country. You want to reform social justice in the Republic of South Sudan. You want a party that is having inclusivity in membership. and you want a country that unites the diversity of its people. If you know all this, and if you go out, for example, you will talk about them. Let's say after the government of the government of national unity, the transitional government of national unity, and when the time comes for you to go to Africa, I know that now there will be appointment because the peace agreement guarantee a 50 MP for the SPLM opposition. Maybe if we are going to form the national government of transitional government, you may not be as when you were in the US, were you contributing money to the SPLM? Or were you paying your due? It doesn't matter. It should be a $5 a month that show your commitment. But it will be anyway. It will be done anyway without asking. But after the election, I think a lot of things will be asked from you as a member of the party. There are conditions for you to be a member of the party, and a decent member that can be voted in and have a chance to vote people in. And this condition, they say the membership of the SPLM is open to all South Sudanese to fulfill the following conditions: abide by the provision of the Constitution, the internal regulation, and the membership code of conduct. Okay. So they say to participate actively and efficiently in all party functions, be 18 or above years of age, be sound in mind, and is of good behavior and conduct. You know, there is a very important issue of conduct. They say every new party member is subject to probation. For example, if you are a party member, you are subject to scrutiny. You will be scrutinized, and maybe people will say, you are a good person, for you to be recommended to another level of the leadership. But if you are not disciplined, you are indisciplined, you are not decent, you are not active, you are not participating in all the functions of the party, you cannot be a good member of the party. I know the time is going. We have 3 types of membership. And I'm not going to talk to them in detail, but there is an ordinary membership that you go yourself and write your application that you want to be a member of this party. And there is associate membership, and there is affiliated membership. There are actual rights of the member of the SPLM or member of the party. You are to participate in SPLM party function at the time, at any level of the party organ. And then you are free to express view and your opinion, raise query, make proposal, and submit petition when necessary to the appropriate party organ. And you have to access the party communication and all the document and secret of the party as a member. You have to do that. And you have to be elected or maybe elect somebody in. These are the privilege of the members. And let me talk about this a little bit. When you are a member of the party, there is something say you have to be freely allowed to access or to express your concern within the party. There is a rule also when you express your concern. If, for example, you feel Dobuol is not doing right thing, as the leader of the SPLM Youth League, or Dr. Riek himself is not doing right, the freedom we are talking about here is not for you to go to Facebook and write on your timeline that Dr. Riek is a bad person. That is not a freedom we are talking, and this is a very important fact. So, the freedom that we are talking about is when we are meeting like today. You know I'm not doing right. You know Dobuol is not doing his job very well, and you have a concern. And concern always, as a member of the party, it shouldn't be like in the form of negative criticism. It should be a very positive and constructive criticism that you meant of changing the attitude of your colleague, not hating him. And freedom that we are talking about is here, we are in this meeting today. Okay, this is the forum. Comrade Dobuol, you have not been doing the right thing. I did not get a forum to come and criticize you, but this is the right time. You're doing this, and you're doing that, and doing this. But sometimes the freedom in the US, I think, is being misunderstood by a lot of people. Because when we tell people, you don't have to write like that on Facebook. They will tell you, this is the free country. But that is not a free country for you to go on Facebook and criticize your colleague. You have to go to your own forum. It is like when you are a family. Let me use this example. A man and a woman. When you are inside your house, you have differences. The moment you step out your door and go and ask for help outside, your family is broken apart. You will not solve those problems. But when you sit down, you say, you are stupid, you are not good, you dress very bad, and all this. Inside your room, nobody will hear it. This is a very good criticism. It's very positive and very constructive. Because when you tell me when I am alone with you in our own house, I will not take it negative, because I know people have not heard us. This is what we mean here. The freedom that we are talking about is not to criticize on Facebook or social media. It's when we have our meeting as the members of the SPLM. We must point our finger to whoever does not do his or her job very well, and we must tell them, if you don't do it, we have to remove you from that position. This is what it means to be freely expressing our own. There is obligation as a member. You have to uphold and abide by the provision of the party constitution and the internal regulation and the code of conduct, and act responsibly and diligently in carrying out all the party function and directive of the party leadership at the appropriate level. Sometimes at the party we work like a soldier. And I know most of you here, you totally are liberal in the mind. Those who grew up in the US, you are completely liberal in the mind. When we come from Africa, you will look at us, this guy who come from Cuba, they are this and they are dictating people and all this. And it goes to the question of some people who are talking about politicians are bad, politicians are bad. Politicians are not bad. But the policy that the politicians are, that certain politician or the group of politicians are pursuing, that may be a bad policy. Today you have heard the report of African Union, and Juba is not leaving tonight as we're talking. They say the killing of people in Juba was done in a pursuit of a state policy. And it was well planned and it was coordinated. And to make it worse, they say there was no coup in Juba. Okay, who is killing people? You use the state policy to kill people. You coordinate it, you tell people go and do it this way, you allocate the places where the people that you were targeting. And now they find it out that there was no coup. Somebody stood up and wanted to kill certain people, the Nuer people. So this is a bad policy. And for you to know that politics is not bad, go in politics. You know, there is very funny thing in the politics. I'm about to close. When you see it, these are a group of people who are deciding your even own destiny, your own family destiny. And you will sit in your house, you see your cousin from other people, let me use cousin, or maybe a friend of yours in the same area, or maybe the same village, or maybe the same state, or other state. He's coming back home in the evening and say, you know, we have decided today, we cut our relationship with Russia, and we decided that we have a relationship with US, and we decided that the oil money will be done. And then you are just looking, and you say, okay, if this guy is deciding the fate of the nation, including my fate, and I'm sitting in the house, why should I not join? Because somebody somewhere will be deciding, zol bigharar niyabatin anna giti, a winter zata mabtarif. Maybe they will decide they go to war with Uganda, and you're sitting in your own house. Somebody is deciding on your behalf. This is what sometimes takes people to politics. Because you say, okay, Laura, the way he take I have to go to politics. So politics is not bad. Politicians also are not bad, but the policy that they are using is the bad policy. Now to come to conclusion, because the document is very big document, that is an organization, how the SPLM is organized from the top executive body and committee and the council and all this, and chapters and youth league and all this. Everything is in the document. So I would advise you that Dobuol, you have all the document. You need to print them out, give it to everybody, let them read by themselves, and then later on, if they have questions, they have to maybe write their question. When we have a forum like this, if you don't understand anything from the Constitution or maybe the Code of Conduct or maybe the manifesto, they will come and ask. Because the documents are big and you guys have other things to do. Now let me come here. And this is a message that goes to you. You are here as an American citizen, South Sudanese American citizen. And it should not be like you guys want to go to South Sudan when you graduate and everything like I have to go back to South Sudan. If you succeed here, you become a millionaire here. You become a politician here, a member of the Congress here in Lincoln. There is no difference between a member of Congress here in Lincoln with a member of Congress in Malakai. They are the same. So my message is, you can achieve your goal anywhere in the world. As long as you're a citizen of this country, you have the privilege to enjoy in this country, you could be a politician in this country. Yes, of course, South Sudan is your first home. But if you have a chance to do that, please don't wait to go to South Sudan. Do it right here. And we will be looking for you here. If you have a chance to make money here in the U.S. In life, there are three things. I'm about to close. I know you come here. So, you need to have money. Or first of all, you need to go to school. If you go to school, get educated, get degree, do your master degree, get your PhD. If you cannot do it, do money. Get money, do business. Actually, if you know, then Donald Trump. You see, this guy is behaving like, you know why he's doing this? I heard someone told me he owned all the big tall building in New York. He don't care. You don't vote him, and if you vote him, he will deport you all to Africa. so this is. So you need to have money, but I don't say if you have money, you behave like Donald Trump. No, because you need people, even though you are a rich person. So I'm saying that education has no age. All of you are young people. You make sure that if you don't finish your degree, please do it. And if you don't do it, look for the money. If you look for the money and get money, people will come from South Sudan and look for you. They will look for you. If you need attention, the attention is not only in politics. If you have money also, you will have the attention of the people. And if you cannot do it alone, make sure that your children go to school. And let me tell you why South Sudan has gone to war. South Sudan has gone to war because the percentage of the people who are educated is below 50%. So you heard about corruption. And if I'm telling you the corruption that was done in South Sudan, most of it was done by the people who did not even know that they were doing corruption. They even took money that they did not benefit from. That was because there was no education. The appointment, the employment was because of who you know, not because of what you know. And because of that, we don't want to repeat the same mistake. Make sure that you learn something. People are waiting for you to do something right. Okay, so I'm taking your time. I know the time is not a good friend anyway. My constituency was the whole greater Upper Nile, Jonglei and Unity and Upper Nile State. I was the only one person that represent all this. That was because of the youth ticket. And we tried to work hard because we did not want to be a blockage to young people. Because if we did not work hard, they would say, Rasmuch and the other came in, and they did not do good things. So you are not ready and all this. So we make sure that we try our best to do good things so that we don't block the other youth to come in. And Dobuol, please make sure that you do good things so you don't block your colleague, and then you will be used as an example that when Dobuol was the youth league leader, a lot of good things happened, especially what we are doing tonight. This meeting is one of the examples that we use. Also, remember, I was seeing one lady here, one girl. You know, Dr. Riek, when we were moving in Utah, he was complaining that, you are not bringing up young ladies. So make sure in your office, let us see more women, more girls actually. If I call them women, they will not come. More girls to come, and so they will. So thank you very much, and God bless you.
I'm so sorry, you guys. Thank you, Honorable Wrath. Thank you for everybody who spoke today. Thank you. Now we will start to do our fundraising.
Thank you. You've been such a nice message. That's why I come out to tell you an example relate to what you talk about. Probably my name is John. They call me DJ, but it's the name of business, not my name. My name is John Wiyual Gony. I'm a Lincoln. I hope everyone knows me. The reason I woke up to stand in front of you guys, my encouragement to you, don't forget you are power at this moment. Here in America, in Europe, in Canada, in our homeland, South Sudan. If we go to the politics they have a meaning. But the message you tell people right now, each of you now intellectual. Even the war happened back home, nobody could say this was because of Denka. Don't say that. This regime for self-kill alone. You're not concerned with Denka. Just self-kill is regime, it's the wrong regime. That is mean who friend to you, South Sudan, and it's why you still relate to her or to him. Some people they don't understand the politics. Let me take an example. C1985, during when the school opened in Khartoum, what my dad's Nazinu Kapatao, will go to Milapen in Nazina Corner, Roni in Milapen. Kokortum Kamani, Ethiopia, will go to Rock and Ark and while I got Madan Nazin. Lagate 5. Hold on, Lagate 5. 83, okay. Okay. Why I need to detail this example to understand the policy. One different organization contribute the money to open a school to us in Ethiopia, in Khartoum. I myself am Arafat, okay? See the politics. The whole organization, what they decided that, okay, now we contribute the money for those kids that need school. And they suffer. They don't have a family. They don't have a parent. And they need education. What are we going to do to them? Some organization, besides European or America or whatever, they make a decision, they said, okay, we contribute the money to them, but we need to take them to America, or we need to take them to Europe. They're acceptable for that mission. Look the politician, and the party, it does mean you're not a brother, or you're not a friend. Arab themselves, they call the meeting. And when you see them, it's a different party. If you hear Article Martin, the part is called SPLM. Mamadas Man Mergani, the another part is called SPLM Democratic. Problem himself, the another part is called SPLMIA. Like they don't like himself because everyone they have different party. But because they know themselves they're Arab, what they decided, they called the meeting about themselves. They said, okay, you guys listen what happened right now. The whole Southern, they're going to take to America, they're going to take to Europe. What are we going to do tomorrow? When they get a good intellectual or good education in this position, tomorrow, what are we going to do? Now the South Sudan and the Sudan in general, if you see the intellectual to South Sudan, maybe 300. But we the Arab, we have 1,000 of 1,000. But we don't know how to catch them up. Only 300, only intellectual and the South Sudan, entire and the South Sudan at all. Maybe 300 or 400 intellectual. But Arab, there are millions. And we don't know how to get them. If they take South Sudan to overseas, to America, to Europe, when they come back tomorrow, how are we going to deal with them? Most of them are going to be engineering, most of them are going to be pilot, most of them are going to be any kind of intellectual. And what are we going to do? Let us look another way. Look the quality. Because they know themselves, they're Arab. The same land, same brother. They're called Northerners, okay? Like we are Southerners. They make another decision. They say, no. We cannot accept Southerners to go to Europe, to go to America, to get a good education. Let us turn a school here in Khartoum, because most of them, they live far away from the city. When they take transportation, they take the bus. When they get home, they're tired. Even when they want to do the homework or to study, they sleep right away. The education should be a limitation education. That cannot be high level. Until they change the plan from different organizations to contribute money, to have Southerners who are schooling, and right away they open a school in Khartoum, some in Ethiopia, and it's very too much, not easy, okay? That's why the meaning of the politics. What about here right now, because you don't understand the politics? We call Riek Machar, Nuer, Salva Kiir, etc. If you, the politicians, please don't say that. Let you know the regime of Salva Kiir is wrong, not because it's Bianca. I hope tomorrow one of you guys will be president. I'm right, I'm not wrong. The good news, you, all of you, you're intellectual. Some of you are going to be doctor, engineering, lawyers, whatever. We are in good shape right now. Next year coming, South Sudan, all this happen will be gone. The rifles are going to come. Look at that. Dr. Riek, if we talk, I'm saying, okay, now I'm a leader of the Nuer. Dr. Riek cannot come to Wales, or he cannot come to New York. Why? Because Dr. Riek commit himself is the leader of South Sudan. Not leader of Nuer, not leader of the whatever. It's a South Sudan at all. That's why Dr. Riek been ignored. Something people they say, okay, Dr. Riek is not a slow person, but it's not a low person. His mind is so long to look 10 years coming. What's going to be? Please, today you're people number. I need you guys tomorrow to call this meeting again because you're the power of the South. Okay, we are telling right now is already close to go. We're close to be older. Okay, but you guys still have a long time to run. If you need any help. You need a speaker to use one reason. I don't care about money or whatever, but I'd like to support you because you're the power of the South Sudan. Thank you.
My name is Peter. We're from community of Maban here in Midwest. one thing I want to say thank you for welcoming us today and inviting us, especially Brother Both. Oh, he's right here. He's the guy that welcomed us today and told us that to come to this. I'm actually unprepared to come here today, but you know what God is, he's the one that invited us to come. I just want to say something about what this guy was saying today. It's just the corruption is something I want to stand up to. Something I've always been tired of seeing. Growing up here, my mom always telling us to go to school and to get your education. And what you're going to do, go back to Sudan and work. And when I go to school, I seen a lot of brothers that go to school here, and when they actually get their education, try to go back home, corruption, the only thing that hits them. They cannot get a job. Because a while what's going on there, you have to know somebody in order to work. And that's not what country is supposed to be about. And actually want to stand behind them. As our community, we want to stand behind them, working with them together and support whatever idea they have. And that's what we've always been waiting on, actually, to see support coming. We want to stand behind them and support it. Support is the only thing that we need to speak up today, actually, that could work. And one thing I want to point out, I'm just a little boy here today, but looking at this generation and my generation, we have a big gap in between. Actually, I'm 21 right now. There's kids behind me that will not even understand their mom. It's hard for them to start a conversation every day with their mothers. And that's a hard thing every day. I see it with my little brothers and all the kids that are in the community. It's really hard just to see them start a communication, just to have a simple communication with their moms and dads. Today, the gap is it's a big gap between these kids and this generation I see here. I know it's a struggle to mothers as well. Just trying to talk to the kids. The kids are actually taking English language as their first language now, and the moms are trying to catch up to that. It's not working. And that's what I want to say to that, support. When I hear the word youth, we want to involve everybody within the young age, with the age that we are now. We want to involve everyone. And when I look at that, I get excited, the word youth. Actually, hearing this word youth as a Sudanese community, I have never seen that since I was a little boy, but now I'm actually really excited. And I want to say thank you for welcoming us today, and let's come together and support those brothers that are fighting for freedom.